Goodreads reviews today. We're going, by the way.
Okay.
I was looking at Goodreads reviews today, and like there are a number of not great reviews for this book, but a lot of them were complaining about like, oh, the cover is so cute. I didn't know it was going to be so like spicy. And I was like, that's a thing now, y'all. Like, get with it.
Also, does the little blurb from Tessa Bailey on the cover not tip you off just a little bit?
And also the description of the book.
Yeah, well, I'm not a blurb reader, so I guess I can't say anything. But then again, you passed me my books.
Right.
So
if you like saw this in a store, you would look at the front cover and then you would flip it around and read the back if you knew nothing about it, right?
Probably. I'm looking at the back right now, and it is the little part where he says, when she says, maybe we just need to get it out of our system, which it's like, how else are you going to read that?
Yeah.
They're going to bone.
Yeah. But also, previously, Julie Murphy's books have not been spicy.
But
so if you're a Julie Murphy fan, maybe it's very unexpected. I don't know.
Well, anyway.
Welcome to 50%.
Today, we're going to talk about this very cute and very spicy book, A Merry Little Meet Cute by Julie Murphy, aforementioned, and Sierra Simone. A little friend duo.
I kept forgetting while reading this book that it was written by two people, because normally when I read a book like that, I'm like, ooh, let me try to figure out who wrote which pieces. But I kept forgetting. And I mean, Sierra Simone's books are quite spicy, so I would assume that she was responsible for many of those pieces.
Right.
But you never know. I kind of like to think that our wholesome gal, Julie Murphy, got some sexy scenes in there.
Of which there are a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
So.
Just because of the sheer number, I would think that some were written by her.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Let's just get right into it since we're already talking about the book. No killing time.
Yeah.
I do need to say this is the perfect day to record our last podcast of the year, our last Christmas holiday podcast of the year, because it is disgusting and freezing outside.
It's awful.
It's great.
Yeah. I mean, it's nice for recording.
Yeah. Anyway, Abigail, why don't you read us the blurb for A Merry Little Meet Cute?
I will. Bea Hobbs, a.k.a. Bianca Von Honey, has a successful career as a plus-size adult film star. With a huge following and two supportive moms, she couldn't ask for more. But when her favorite producer cast her to star in a Christmas movie he's been making for the squeaky clean Hope Channel, Bea's career is about to take a more family-friendly direction. Everything about this blurb, every time I read it, makes me laugh.
Unbelievable.
Forced to keep her work as Bianca under wraps, Bea quickly learns this is a task a lot easier said than done. Though it all becomes worthwhile when she discovers her co-star is none other than childhood crush Nolan Shaw, an ex-boy band member in desperate need of career rehab. Nolan's promised his bulldog manager to keep it zipped up on set. And he will if it means he'll be able to provide a more stable living situation for his sister and mom. But things heat up quickly in Christmas Notch, Vermont, when Nolan recognizes his new co-star from her closed doors account. Oh yeah, he's a member. Now Bea and Nolan are sneaking off for quickies on set and keeping their new relationship a secret from the Hope Channel's execs. Things only get trickier when the reporter who torpedoed Nolan's singing career comes snooping around and takes an instant interest in mysterious newcomer Bea. And if Bea and Nolan can't keep their off-camera romance behind the scenes, then this merry little meet cute might end up on the cutting room floor.
Where to begin with this book? It starts pretty unexpectedly, just starting at the beginning, because it starts from Teddy's perspective.
Which I really liked.
Me too. So it starts, Teddy is the producer of the movie.
And the porn studio.
A.K.A. Uncle Ray Ray.
Which you expect this character to be, like, disgusting and sleazy, but I just imagined him as, like, Jimmy Buffett.
Yeah, he's, like, kind of like your dorky friend's dad kind of vibes, you know, like you come over to his house and he's like, what's going on the TikTok, kids, or whatever.
That is exactly how he is.
Yeah.
He wears like sandals and Hawaiian shirts everywhere. This is not what I think of when I think of porn executives, I guess. I don't know.
No. I mean, this entire book had very unexpected and like extremely like nice and positive representations of sex work, which was nice, but I was not expecting Teddy to be
wholesome
as he was.
Right.
But so it starts from Teddy's perspective, which was very unexpected because I saw the name Teddy and I was like, who the fuck is this guy?
Right.
But it's like a very like quick and easy way to like set the scene for what's going on.
Yes. And then the prologue is in third person, which was very fun because it made everything seem more high stakes and serious. And then it just jumps into B's perspective in the first chapter. I thought it was very fun that we got this like, oh shit, how am I going to cast this Christmas movie after? So
this like bird's eye view of what's going on.
Right.
With several of the characters, like from Teddy's perspective, but in third person, but like what he's going through of like shit has hit the fan and he's trying to like cast this Christmas movie for the Hope Channel, aka the Hallmark Channel.
It's the Hallmark
It's the
Channel.
Hallmark Channel.
So what had happened though?
And this literally like page 2 or whatever when this happens, I was like, I fucking love this book.
Yeah. The explanations and the backstory in this book is absolutely, this would never happen. It's insane.
The world building. It's fantastic.
It's bonkers. But what happened was this Christmas movie he is producing for the Hope Channel. No idea how this got signed off on for this man to produce a Christmas movie, but that's fine.
He's basically like kind of like very low stakes scamming his way into this because he like managed to somehow do it under his real name, not the name he uses for his porn stuff.
Not Uncle Ray Ray.
Not Uncle Ray Ray.
But a bunch of the crew members and the lead actress of this movie, A Duke for Christmas? No, Duke the Halls.
Duke the Halls.
Duke the Halls
is the name of the movie.
Went to a Burning Man-esque music, not music festival, and a giant walrus tusk fell on them.
Also, this was in Terlingua, as in West Texas.
I didn't catch that at all.
Yep. So a walrus tusk fell on the crew members because they were standing underneath some sort of sculpture that collapsed, basically.
Yeah, some art installation.
Yeah.
I don't know. And then Winnie Baker, who was supposed to be the lead. What happened to her?
She had a bad ayahuasca trip.
That's it. Yes.
And she was like, I guess physically okay, but very tired. So Winnie Baker, our old lead actress, the former lead actress, is sort of this like very wholesome Hallmark Channel, Hope Channel, like kind of I pictured her as like, you know how Candace Cameron Bure is in all, that's how I pictured her.
That is exactly who I pictured.
Or like, I pictured someone like her, or like any kind of slightly grown up former Disney Channel or Nickelodeon kind of star.
Right.
Is it before like, but like the squeaky clean version.
Yes.
Which I can't think of a single person who was on those channels and remains squeaky clean.
I don't know. Vanessa Hudgens is on a little victory lap as
yes.
Princess Switch.
Yeah, I think Vanessa Hudgens is good. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's Winnie Baker.
Right. So, and then she was supposed to be starring opposite this kind of reformed bad boy from like an NSYNC or Backstreet Boys.
No, it was like One Direction era.
It was, but like the name of the band is Ink, which feels very pointedly NSYNC to me.
Yes. The name feels very like 90s, early 2000s, but it is like One Direction era, which is weird because I don't know what other boy bands were then at the time.
So Nolan, the former member of the boy band, who is now an actor, is trying to rehab his image because he's gotten
into a lot of trouble.
The kind of tipping point being some incident at the Duluth Olympics. Which obviously never happened. The Duluth Olympics never happened.
These are fake Olympics.
Where he was like caught with like 3 Olympians in a hotel room, basically.
In the little Olympic village.
Yeah.
Where sexcapades of legend apparently happen every Olympics.
Right. And so he has a super bad reputation because he like allegedly ruined this American ice skaters like run at the Olympics.
Right. She got caught with him, and then like the next day she was supposed to win gold and then she didn't.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So more on that later, but that is kind of the situation that he's living with. But then we learn early on that he's like really trying to rehab his image because he's trying to support his family. He needs to make money, basically. Mm-hmm. And again, more on that later, but washed up pop star with a bad reputation. I imagine it's pretty hard to make money.
So the way B gets cast is Teddy meets up with the director of this Hope Channel movie, Gretchen, at a Chili's in an airport?
Yes.
The Chili's 2.
At the Chili's 2 in the airport. And this is before we've met B and Nolan. So some of the backstory we just gave, you don't know as the reader yet. But this part was so funny to me because when we read the blurb for the book, I was like, oh, I imagine what happened is that B auditioned for this movie and then just didn't tell them about her livelihood and is like also running a scam kind of like Teddy is.
Right.
But that is not what happens.
No, what happens is, so Winnie Baker drops out of the movie. The movie is going to production like the next day.
Which is why Winnie drops out. Like if they were able to push back the filming, she could have still done it. But they needed to start filming like literally the next day and she needed like 3 or 4 days of rest or something.
Something like that. But Teddy has all these headshots that he brings to Gretchen to show her of like alternates, and B's topless headshot is somehow accidentally in there, and Gretchen sees it and is like, interesting, I want her.
Yeah, she's like, I like that, that's bold.
Yeah, real good. Yeah, good idea, get her.
Right. And this again, this all happens in this kind of prologue, like first chapter with Teddy. And so like all of these things happen, like Gretchen, the Chili's 2, the wooden walrus tusk.
It's a lot of information very quickly.
But that's what, that like instantly I was like, all right, I'm in. All
right,
You've got me.
Great. Sounds good.
Yeah. If you write a scene at a Chili's 2 in an airport into your book, I will read it, the entire thing.
I know, he's like writing stuff on the back of like the kids menu.
Unbelievable.
Like a little contract for B or rules or something like that. I don't know. It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Poor Teddy though is just like, okay.
Yeah. And then he realizes he's got to fill in like for the crew too. So similarly, he calls up like friends from the porn industry, like makeup and costumes and whatever.
Again, Teddy's just kind of bumbling through life as this just like cool porn dad. I don't know. He's just there.
Yeah. So he like calls in some favors of like from these people who I guess are available the next day, right before Christmas. So this starts to come together for Teddy, even though he's very stressed.
Yeah. This poor man.
And so he's basically like, oh fuck, okay, here I go. I'm going to figure it out.
So B had joked with him a couple times. She knew he was doing this Christmas movie, and she was like, just cast me in something. I don't care what it is. I'll be a waitress. Like,
right, like a side part, whatever, yeah.
And so then he calls her and is like, you want to be the lead? And she is like, she takes a couple minutes to think about it, and then she's like, okay, I'll do it. Sure.
The first scene we get with B is this like packing scene, which was another scene that I was like, all right, they've got me. I'm in. Because it's like Sunny, B's best friend and roommate, throwing a bunch of vibrators. Like they're strategizing over how many vibrators B needs for like 3 weeks in Vermont, which to be fair, she uses them for work. But
she's not traveling for this kind of work. It's different work.
But she's still running her closed doors account.
True. That's true.
But it's very funny because it's like, does she need a different suitcase? No, like let's just like a little duffel bag. Like how many is too many?
How many different flavors of lube do I need?
Yeah, sugar cookie lube. You know, the whole.
That's the winner.
The whole 9 yards. Yeah, she decides on sugar cookie, which. I can't remember the other options listed, but I remember when I was reading this, I was like, that's the one I would choose too. Not that I have an opinion on this, but the sugar cookie is probably the one that I would choose.
I don't know. It just sounds like a yeast infection.
I know. So then kind of the first section of this book after that is like B flies to Vermont, like the cast and crew all arrive on the scene. There's a series of capital C characters, especially the ones who are, you know, previously from the porn industry, who are trying to not reveal that they are in porn.
They're all running this low stakes little scam of like, we're just set people.
Right.
We do normal family friendly work, but they aren't very good at it.
Right. They keep kind of accidentally revealing.
Right. And Nolan at first, he hasn't met B yet, is just kind of confused. Like he's digging through the costume bucket and finding like assless chaps.
Right. And like harnesses, like leather and stuff.
And he's like, this isn't period wear. So
right, because it is, you know, in the movie that they're making, there's a time travel element from like present day back into, I don't know, I guess like Victorian times. I don't
know. This movie, I very much appreciated how little this book goes into the plot of whatever movie they're making.
It feels very like Kate and Leopold, but did you ever see that movie?
No.
With Meg Ryan, Hugh Jackman.
I've never seen a movie.
It feels very Kate and Leopold, which is exactly that. It's like this man from, I don't know my eras, don't come for me, but like some Victorian era man comes to the future and she's like introducing him to future things. But this is like the Christmas version of that, but the opposite, because she goes back in time with him.
And he goes forward in time with her to eat chili fries.
Oh, yes, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
It truly does not matter what this movie is about.
It doesn't matter, but it does add to some of the fun complication of the fact that the costume designer, his full-time job is in porn.
Yeah.
So that's all, like, basically Nolan is meeting these people, but he's like, well, this is kind of weird, but he doesn't really think too hard about it because he's like, A, I need this money. B, I never really worked on a movie before, so like, what do I know?
Right. This could be totally normal. I don't know.
Right.
Maybe I do have to wear assless chaps.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe he's going to turn them into something else. I don't know. But this is where we learn that Nolan is doing this to support his family. He has a mom who has bipolar disorder, which I can't remember if we learn exactly what she's dealing with early on, or if we just learn that she's struggling with something and it's revealed that she has bipolar disorder later. But whatever it is, we know that his mom is struggling with something, and his teenage sister is kind of her caregiver while Nolan's gone. And so he's like, I just have to make this project work. I need this money. Mm-hmm. His like agent or manager or whatever is like, don't fuck this up. You need this. I need this. Like, you have to be squeaky clean.
Right.
No shenanigans. And then that is also kind of the negotiation that Teddy makes with B, because Teddy is like, you cannot fuck this up for all of us. Like, right. You also have to be very low key.
And B's pretty willing.
Right. B's like, well, I have kind of like low key been wanting to get into like non-porn acting. So like, I don't want to fuck this up for myself either. Like, that sounds good.
Yeah.
So obviously that's going to go wrong.
Yes.
Anytime that is required.
No one's allowed to bone.
Right. So the next thing I have on here is that they kiss at 19% because the first scene that they have to film together is like the last scene of the movie where they're like, oh, I love you. And then they make out.
Right. But right before this, he meets B and he realizes, oh,
I've been watching this lady on the internet for years.
For literal years. Like checking her notifications as soon as she posts, like, what does he call it? He's like part of like the honeypot or something where it's like her top subscribers.
Yeah, like I imagine there are pricing tiers, like, and Patreon. He pays the highest tier. Yes. Is how I picture it.
For all her exclusive content, he's like, it's his fantasy girl.
Right.
And he recognizes her immediately.
Obviously. Like, he sees her and he's like, oh no.
Oh, cool.
And then they immediately have to make out.
Yes.
which she does with tongue because she doesn't know that you're not supposed to do that.
I know.
I can't remember whose perspective that part is written from, but when I wrote it originally in my notes, I was like, does she know that she's not supposed to do this? And then we learn later that, like, no, she doesn't know, and then she feels stupid.
Right. No one gave her. They even say we don't have enough money for an intimacy coach here.
Right, exactly.
And she's like, well, okay, I'm just kissing.
Yeah, and then someone, I can't remember if it's the director or someone later, is like, hey, you don't have to do that. Like, you just do it without tongue. Like, that's how people do it.
Just a little stage smooch.
Right. And then she feels really embarrassed because she's like, oh no, I just like stuck my tongue down Nolan's throat. And like Bee's reaction to meeting Nolan is also like important because Bee was a huge fan of the boy band that Nolan was in, as we've mentioned, like growing up. So she's freaking out, but not nearly as much as he is.
No. Everyone knows who Nolan is.
Right.
Some of them know who Bee is.
Right.
Not all of them, though. And
right.
It's supposed to be very under wraps. And so he doesn't tell her that he knows who she is either. He keeps that secret.
Right. Which feels a little weird for me consent-wise.
There are some consent-y things in this book I have a little question mark about.
Yeah, but then the way, like, there are things that, like, kind of raised a little tiny red flag for me, but then usually in the book, Bee would react to it and be fine with it. And so I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to trust that the authors hopefully did some work talking to people who work in sex work. I would hope.
Yeah, I felt the same way you did because if I had, well, let's get into, I guess, the reveal. So the first act, you know, they're all just kind of meeting each other and making this Christmas movie and whatnot.
Yeah, there's a lot going on, but not a lot of action. Like, there's a lot of, like, small scenes of, like, Nolan goes to the costume designer, then Bee goes to the costume designer, and then, like, kind of all these little small things. They film the first scene, they kiss. It's like a medium deal.
Yeah, they learn more about this town. Everything's Christmas themed. It's like a functioning town, but not really also. It's like part movie. It's like Disney World. It's like living at Disney World.
Right.
But Christmas.
There are no townies that I am, except for the people who, like, work at the local businesses.
I did not meet a townie in this book.
Yeah.
Big disappointment on my end.
I know.
I really wanted some hyper Christmas townies.
I know.
That's okay though. But you know, they're making this movie. They're living in this town, and so Bee and Nolan are obviously attracted to each other because they're both hot people.
I need to interrupt you because we have to get to something that was like absolutely destroying me, which is the gingerbread lotion. Yes.
Okay. So while Nolan is working with Bee, his porn star fantasy girl, this poor man, but
he's like so turned on the entire time, which like makes sense.
Sure.
And he has to release, but which fine.
Sure.
And that was that's the moment where I was like I knew this was going to be a horny book, but I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like lots of talk about this man being hard, basically. Yep. But he keeps referencing the gingerbread lotion that is stocked in his hotel room because everything's Christmas themed, including the hotel or the inn, excuse me.
Yes, the inn.
And he keeps referencing the gingerbread lotion that he uses to jack off. And I'm like, every reference of it, I was just like, oh no. Because I had some like gingerbread-y lotion
from
Bath and Body Works like years ago. And the smell of it was like so sweet and like strong. And like I couldn't even really handle using it because it was like too sweet. And so that's what I kept thinking of. And I just laughed every time it was mentioned because it felt so funny.
I definitely imagined it being glittery.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, like shimmery Bath and Body Works gingerbread lotion. Anyway, so we had to talk about the gingerbread lotion, but
it shows up often.
It shows up often. I had to talk about it because I found it very funny every time it came up.
And it definitely has pink glitter in it.
Yeah.
There's no way it doesn't.
It kept being just like a funny little callback throughout the book that every time I was just like, yeah. Anyway, so back to the scene where it is revealed the identities are revealed, basically.
Right. So for those keeping track at home, the first kiss is at 19%, but like it kind of doesn't count because it's a stage kiss. You know,
right. I mean, it's not a stage kiss because they're tonguing each other.
Yes,
but
it is not a naturally occurring kiss.
Exactly. Yeah, it's for the movie.
It's for the movie. So the real first kiss and more happens at 34%.
Yeah.
And what the situation is, which feels very cliche, but I'll take it. It's fine.
It was pretty hot. I liked it.
Yeah. I mean, it can be a cliche too.
Right.
That wasn't knocking it.
Yeah.
It just is.
Yeah. I liked it.
B needs help getting into her corset.
Yeah.
And who is there but Nolan?
Right.
To help. We also find out he's like a theater kid. And that's why he knows how to sew. Yeah, so he's like
good at costumes.
Yeah, in the beginning of the book, they mention him like sewing his own costumes. And I'm like, how the fuck does this boy band kid know how to sew?
Yeah.
And then it turns out he's a theater nerd.
Right. Yeah. And he's like working part-time at a local theater, like in his hometown too. So
he's very capable.
Yeah. So he helps B
get in her corset.
And then once the corset is on, she's like, shit, I can't bend over to like put the rest of my stuff on.
Right.
So he puts on tights it's tights,
stockings.
Right? Stockings, excuse me.
Yeah.
And then so obviously they fool around because he is like essentially between her knees putting these stockings on.
Yep.
And neither of them can resist themselves.
Nope.
But I liked this scene. Because it was cliche, but it was also like, nice, whatever. But
it's nice. It's fine.
They haven't really. My thing with this is like, it happened so early. They haven't really gotten to know each other yet.
I know they're both just kind of hot for each other,
right? Like, and so it was very like lust at first sight, which then like turns into them having feelings for each other. But I wasn't feeling the connection from them. So even though I liked this moment, like I personally wasn't that invested in it yet.
Yes, I felt the same way. We've talked about we don't really vibe all the time with lust at first sight or love at first sight or anything like that. This one I could buy a little bit more for lust at first sight, obviously because he's been watching her content for years.
Right.
So it makes sense.
And both of their perspectives, they talked about like being able to like kind of feel like some kind of sexual tension. So there was at least the buildup in that regard.
Right.
But I kind of wish like this scene had been swapped out with maybe one of the other hookup scenes because I think this moment would have been like sweeter if it were later, but it also makes sense as it being their first quote unquote sex scene, even though it's not like
they get very close
intercourse.
But he says her stage name.
Yeah, like as they're going at it. And then she's like, wait. Like after everything is over, she's like, wait. Let's go back to that.
Yeah, you know who I am.
Right.
And he's like, actually, yes. And I'm a loyal subscriber. I've given you a lot of money over the years.
Right. And she responds well to it. She's like, I can't believe that this like my like childhood crush has been like watching me. Like that's like an ego boost. But then she also finds it like kind of hot. So all of my issues with consent and him not telling her that he knew who she was, like after she responded that way, I was like, okay, if she's cool with it, I'm cool with it. Like, moving forward.
It's probably something that she has thought of a lot where, there's
Certainly.
always the possibility of somebody she meets up with for a date or whatever knows who she is. And
right. It just felt a little slimy that he didn't tell her right away, but it doesn't take that long for it to be revealed. So I'm not that mad about it.
Yeah. Also, the beginning of the book, I feel like I have to mention this because it is also just like bonkers and makes no sense. The way that they assume that nobody is going to recognize B is just because she is using her real name, B. Hobbs.
Right.
And they're hoping people just chalk it up to, oh, she has one of those faces. No.
Right.
No.
Well, and if she's as popular of a creator online as it seems like she is, like, well, I think what they're really banking on is that the intersection of audience has a very small center of the Venn diagram.
Yes.
Which I'm like, y'all are giving Americans a lot of credit.
I know. So the explanation no, this would never work in the real world, but it's fine. We're going to move past it for now.
You're right. Like, this was always going to blow up, and spoiler alert, it eventually does, obviously.
Obviously.
Like, obviously, that's the conflict in the book.
There's no way we were going to get through this book with nobody knowing who everybody was.
Exactly.
But in the meantime...
so they have this, like, moment in the dressing room where they realize that they are mutually attracted to each other. It's very sexy. And then they kind of just... This whole, like, middle section-ish of the book is kind of... similar to the first section, except they're just alternatively hooking up and like trying to resist the urge to hook up.
Right. So they're kind of dancing around each other. They decide they shouldn't hook up again. Kind of, I don't know, but they're going to.
They decide that, and then they like sort of do again. There's like some little almost like stolen kisses and things like that, and like moments where they find themselves in close quarters, and
they're flirting, and then it all comes to a head when they go to the Christmas strip club,
the North Pole. I am obsessed with everything
Pole.
about this. Everything about this is unbelievable. They meet a dancer named Prancer. Which I didn't even try to rhyme that.
The hostess is named Peppermint.
Yes.
Obviously, these aren't their real names, but they're all Christmas themed.
And some of the other crew members from the movie have been bugging Bea to go because they've gone like basically every night that they've been working on this movie. And so she's like, okay, fine. But she's like, but only if Nolan comes too.
And he's like, well, twist my arm.
Right.
All right. What am I going to do? Say no. So
which I'm like, yes, you should say no because you're trying to be pure as the driven snow.
None of these people are very smart in this moment.
No.
That's okay.
This was very frustrating for me.
This is not a good decision for anybody. So I was reading this book in front of my fiance too, and I just kept laughing.
Oh my God, wait. This is the first time we've recorded the podcast since Abigail has had a fiance.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry to bury that into like, what is the 45th minute of recording? I'm not sure what minute this will be at in the...
Yeah.
Abigail got engaged.
I got engaged.
Surprise.
I got engaged.
I literally, at the beginning when we were just talking, I was like, I don't really think we have anything to talk about. Let's just talk about the book.
I know. I didn't want to be the one to bring it up. So I was waiting for you to do it. And then you're like, I don't know what we're going to say. So let's just start talking.
I know. It's been a week and some change and I already forgot.
I'll give the rundown about that after we continue recording.
Yeah, we'll do that at the end.
And then, so that'll be the grand finale for the year.
Yeah, exactly. This will make you keep listening.
Yeah. But,
anyway, so you were reading the book in front of your fiance.
And I kept literally, like, laughing out loud.
Me too.
Of, this silly North Pole strip club. This is a very funny book. It's very funny.
Yeah. They were so similar to Your Mean One, Matthew Prince. There were so many good, just little like one-liners.
Oh yeah,
and like references, just like so funny.
These are good, goofy Christmas romances.
Yes,
like, these aren't your melancholy ones. These are the good, goofy ones.
Yeah, the ones that are just like, well, that was fun.
Yeah. So Bea buys herself a private dance with Nolan with Prancer.
Yes.
So they go in the little back room of the strip club, the North Pole. And
Bea gets her lap dance.
Yes. And then Prancer, it's so funny to say.
I know.
She's wearing like a little reindeer outfit too. Complete with a bell harness.
Right.
As the book notes.
Which, in my mind, it was very cute. the way I pictured it.
I know. I was like, I don't know how to make sexy reindeer costume in my head work. So, I don't know. It sounds cute.
Sounds cute. Yeah, exactly.
Whatever. It's fine. Nolan does not get his dance, but Prancer recognizes who he is.
Right.
So they just all take a picture together?
Yeah, she like asks if it's okay to take a selfie. And I'm like, say, no, this is so stupid. Because they're like, you're not going to post it anywhere, right? And she's like, of course not. And I'm like, you just met this woman tonight.
Yeah. Yeah. These people were not media trained, it seems like.
No, not at all. Not at all. But I love that we got to take a trip to the North Pole.
Oh,
this was one of my favorite parts of the book.
No qualms about that.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I never thought we would see a strip club in a Christmas romance, but here we are.
Me neither. And I'm actually like surprised that it even exists in the first place because everything else about this town is very squeaky clean.
I know.
Because this is apparently also a town that the Hope Channel is like familiar with and films in a lot.
They literally take a trolley to the strip club. A trolley.
I know.
Like again, living in Christmas Disney World. Yeah. So they get back from the strip club. They, go their separate ways. Bea posts a selfie that she had taken in the room with Prancer while she was like looking at Nolan.
Yeah, on her closed doors account.
And Nolan obviously sees it.
And the caption is like, she's just like, our girl just makes a move here. Because she's like, the caption is something like when you want them but you can't have them or something. It's very like
obvious,
something dramatic that I would have posted in high school.
Yeah. real lies
Exactly. When you want them but you can't have them. But apparently in the photo she looks very like wanting, like it's sexy but it's like vulnerable.
She knows what she's doing. Yeah.
And so then she gets a knock on the door.
Yes. And then we get our first true sex scene, which goes on for many pages.
Yes.
We learn some things about Nolan, which is that he has horrible tattoos.
Yeah. He has a tattoo of like a strand of Christmas lights. And I want to know how you pictured this because I pictured it like no regrets style across the chest. And I'm aware this is not a visual medium, but if you know what I'm talking about, you certainly know like the motion that I just did to Abigail, like across the chest.
Yes.
I was picturing it either kind of like that or like kind of starting at one shoulder and then like winding down and looping around kind of deal.
That is far, far, far better than I imagined it, which is not great, your description.
No.
Because I think he said tangled Christmas lights, and I just imagined a literal tangled
just a ball
tangled lights above his pec.
So were you picturing the ones with the big bulbs?
No, I was literally thinking of the little mini Christmas lights that you put on the
Not even the cute ones.
Not even the cute ones. Just
boy.
And a little like tumbleweed basically above his pec. So he has that, and then the only other one they mention is a bus with wings, which, okay, sure, that's kind of cool, but it's on his hip.
Yeah.
No man in a romance novel so far that I've read has had good tattoos.
No, the only good tattoos are Delilah Green's.
Oh, yes, actually.
Yep. But all the men's tattoos are
bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, except for our guy in Part of Your World, but we never
we never learn what the tattoos are,
exactly.
Just that he has them.
So you just get to paste in your brain what you think they look like.
Which is why it works for me.
Yep. I think we learn
I give him good tattoos.
I think we learn he has roses, which I'm like, great, amazing.
Yeah, I picture them like mine.
Exactly. Yeah, they're cool.
Yes, I picture good tattoos.
So here's my call. Please stop with the weird tattoos. I can't do the tangled Christmas lights anymore. Imagine having that on your body year-round, whether it's a tumbleweed or across your whole chest.
You know what we need to do? We need to make like an Excel doc with a formula of like books about men with bad tattoos and whether the authors are tattooed.
That is a great idea.
Because I think that perhaps makes a difference. Not that you can't write good tattoos if you don't have tattoos, but like I feel like you can write them better if you have tattoos.
So our tattooed leads so far this year, we've got Miles.
Right.
Who has terrible tattoos.
Bad tattoos.
We've got Delilah, who we've established has great tattoos.
Yes.
I'm trying to think of anyone else we've talked about. That might be it.
Yeah, I mean, just the Part of Your World guy whose name I always forget.
Daniel. Daniel's not a very hot name. That's why I think I delete it from my name.
Apologies to the Daniels out there.
Daniel of Part of Your World, we're in love with you. Daniels of the World, I don't know. I have relatives named Daniel. That's probably it.
Oh, maybe so.
Yeah. That's fine, though.
All of that is to say, I will start the Excel doc and we can make a formula and a little graph.
This will be one of our New Year's goals for this podcast.
Yeah.
And I think
tracking tattoos.
It'll be well worth it.
Yeah.
So after that, they're hooking up.
Yeah, they're basic. So they're like, I think the wording is like, B is like, we should get it out of our system or whatever. And it is like italicized.
Yeah.
And so they do that. And
All
then
night.
they're both like, oh no, it's not out of our system. Surprise, we're still attracted to each other. Surprise, that's not how sex works. You don't just do it once and get it over with.
No, when has that ever worked for anybody ever?
Right. In real life or in a book.
No.
Like, that's not how it works. If you want to bang someone once, you probably want to bang them again unless it ends up being terrible. But that's certainly not what happens here. So now they're just together in secret, basically.
Right, because neither of them want to screw this up. As we've established, B wants to do something else or try something else. Nolan needs money.
Yeah.
And he also seems like a good guy. He doesn't seem to want to be the one to screw this up for everybody.
Right.
So then we get to, again, lots of things happen in this book, but not a lot of things happen in this book all the time. But
no like major plot points. So really after this, it's like continuing to shoot the movie, except they're together secretly.
They bang a few more times.
Yeah.
At some point. But then we get to kind of this little like turning point.
Uh-huh. Like the first kind of big conflict, I guess.
So B is scared of horses.
And listen. I, too, am very scared of horses for all of the same reasons that B is, because I am not confident around horses, because I have not been exposed to them that much, and they're really big.
This shocks me about you every time I hear it, because we both grew up in small towns. I grew up around horses.
Yeah.
I had a horse at a point.
Yeah, we only ever had cows, and cows don't scare me. They're big and stupid.
I had a bull. I'm more scared of cows.
Yeah, I mean, we had a bull, too, but I just avoided him.
I don't know. I've never been kicked by a horse or thrown off by a horse, so maybe I'm lucky in that sense. But have you been kicked?
No, I just really never spent that much time around horses. And even like in high school, when I was working at the barnyard, I worked at a barnyard in high school.
Katey worked at the barnyard.
I did. When I was working at the barnyard, we had like cows, donkeys, goats, chickens. We had a sheep. He was the best. I'm not afraid of any of those. Well, we had turkeys, and I am afraid of them because they pecked the shit out of me. So that fear is founded. But I just never spent that much time around horses. And everything that anyone has ever told me about horses is like, oh, you just have to like know how to handle them. You have to be confident. You have to, and like I was never around them enough to feel confident. And so now I'm just afraid. And I feel like horses know when you're afraid.
Just like Hattie.
Yeah, yes, exactly. Just like Abigail's dog. So I'm just not confident around them. And they're very big.
They are very large. Yes.
And I just don't know what to do around them. And I feel very out of control when I am on a horse. So
this is not an unfounded fear, but it is very funny when I think of, because I imagine our upbringings as pretty similar.
Yeah, this is the difference.
This is the diverging quality. Because I did grow up. We had multiple horses. I grew up riding horses. I thought I was going to be a barrel racer.
Yeah.
That didn't happen, obviously.
But when I saw that B was this afraid of horses, I was like, representation matters.
Oh, we haven't also mentioned B's a Texas girl.
B is a Texas girl.
B is from DFW, just like myself.
Yeah, representation for the Texas girls who are scared of horses.
Yeah. B's from Arlington, of all places, which I'm sorry, B. Arlington sucks.
I know, yeah.
But, the first mention of DFW is when she was like, very specifically, American Airlines Center in Dallas, and I was like, what?
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, wait, is B from my suburb?
Yeah.
No, she's not. She's from Arlington, but pretty close to me.
Pretty close to you, yeah. So that's 2 books in a row where one of the leads has been from DFW.
I know, which DFW is not a glamorous place.
No, it's funny. It's funny.
It's
like they were just like fill in the blank suburb for this person to be from.
Well, I'll tell you now. Which one is it?
Julie Murphy is from Texas.
Julie Murphy lives in North Texas, and then Sierra lives in Kansas City, which Nolan is from Kansas City.
Right.
And where my sister lives right now. So this was a nice little collision of worlds.
But yeah, so B is scared of horses.
In her defense, she was kicked by a horse.
She was kicked by a horse, so she has an even more valid reason than I do. But any reason to be afraid of horses is valid, I feel like, because they're big animals.
Yeah, no judgment. For anybody else scared of horses.
But yeah.
B was injured by a horse.
If you also are scared of horses, we are in the same club. Yeah. So the reason this comes up is because they have a scene on horseback, basically. We never really learn why, do we? They don't really talk about why we're riding horses.
I don't know. It's for like a fucking montage or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like B-roll or whatever.
So B is like properly terrified, and Nolan is being very sweet. He's like, I'll be with you the whole time. Like,
he is very good with horses.
Yeah.
He went to like riding camp or something.
Yeah, and I think he also mentioned that he had to be on a horse for a music video or something at one point. I don't remember. He's like weirdly good at everything.
Yeah, I don't know. His flaws are few and far between.
Right. So he's like, I'll be with you the whole time. I've got your back. Don't worry. And so like this works for her. And she's like, okay, I trust Nolan. He's going to be there. I can do it. Nothing bad's going to happen to me.
She gets on the horse and immediately gallops.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, okay, I'm not afraid of horses, but I wouldn't do that.
Right.
I don't like to go fast anywhere.
Right. And then like this gust of wind comes, spooks the horse. B gets thrown off the horse. She's unconscious for like a short period of time. By the time she comes to, everyone's gathered around her, but Nolan is nowhere to be found.
Nolan was not there when the horse threw her off either because his phone had rang right before. And it was his sister telling him that his mother is in the hospital. She had like fallen in a parking lot and hit her head.
She got dizzy or something.
It was something that ultimately was pretty low stakes, but, you know, obviously was very scary for his teenage sister to deal with. Mm-hmm. And his mom was fine, but he answered the phone. He like rode off somewhere else, and then the horse threw B.
Right.
And then when she wakes up, he's not there.
Yeah, and she doesn't know that he wasn't. She doesn't know any of that happened until later. She's just like, oh, he told me he was going to be here for me, and he's not.
All she knows is he wasn't there when she got thrown off, and he's not here now.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah. Exactly. And then we learn that there's some other crew members who like obviously saw everything go down, and they think that it was Nolan's phone ringing that spooked the horse. And so they're blaming him too, because this isn't the first time his phone has rang on set, and they're like, why the fuck do you have your phone like the ringer on?
Right.
Like while we're filming, because no one knows about his family situation.
Yes. But, you know, there's a reason. He explains to B pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Actually.
This is resolved pretty quickly with the two of them.
Which I appreciate. We love some good communication in a romance novel. She doesn't sit with it for too long. She's like, the fuck? Yeah. She's like, that wasn't cool. I trusted you. Mm-hmm. And he's like, you know what? You were right. I'm so sorry. Here's what was going on. I think you should know.
Yeah, and she's like, I'm sorry you're going through that. Why didn't you tell me? But, like, thanks for telling me now.
Yeah, and neither of them are mad anymore.
Yeah.
They've come to a good place of understanding, and I'm pretty sure they bone again after that.
Yeah, very quickly resolved. So now they're like, this is the point in the book that, like, so the romance between them, you know, we talked about earlier in the episode, like, that first sex scene, we weren't really invested in them as a couple yet. Mm-hmm. But now this entire middle section, but especially after this kind of emotional turning point, was when I'm like, okay, these two are really cute together.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm with you. I feel like the first couple romance sex scenes, whatever, I was like, why does he, like, does he actually like her as a person? Mm-hmm. Like, I don't.
And, like, he says he does in his inner monologue, but it doesn't always really come out in the interactions between them.
Right. And then you're right. This is kind of the turning point where I'm like, oh no, they actually do really care about each other and they work well together and it's very cute. They just both happen to be hot. So
right. Yeah.
Hot people deserve to fall in love too with each other or whoever and whatnot. So
yeah, they just did all the lusty parts first, which is fine.
Yeah.
So this is kind of, again, we get another series of filming scenes, hanging out, whatever. They go on this like little ice skating date that obviously it can't actually be a date, but they go ice skating.
It's a little secret date.
Yeah, a little secret date. And they are sort of accosted by this like you said earlier, I don't like calling him a journalist or a reporter, but he's sort of a gossip. He writes for a gossip rag, essentially, or runs a gossip blog or something.
I forgot who this man was.
Yeah. We didn't really, there was no reason to know who he was until now anyway.
He was the one who broke the story of Nolan's Duluth Olympics escapade.
Right. Basically the reason that Nolan's career sort of fell apart.
Right.
And so this blogger shows up at the ice rink and is like, well, apparently that's his like catchphrase. And I'm like, what a stupid catchphrase.
Like a little movie villain.
Yeah, but he's basically like, look who it is.
Yeah.
And
also, why is he there?
Right.
What's he doing?
Yeah, like presumably he's just like tracked Nolan. He knows that Nolan is shooting this movie and he's like sniffing around for something juicy.
Yeah.
Basically. So Nolan basically tells this guy to fuck off.
Very
and, like, leave them alone.
Like pretty politely, but like, yeah, he's like, go fuck yourself.
Right. Go yeah. Cause the guy, Dominic, is like, oh, is this like your new lady? And so Nolan's like, leave us alone, leave her alone, keep her name out of your mouth, like all of this stuff.
Yeah.
But shortly thereafter, the story of what's going on with Nolan's family is out in the open.
So what had happened, and this broke my heart a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Maddie, his 17-year-old sister, was posting just, about her life. And
she created essentially a Finsta at Nolan's request, but it evidently wasn't private.
She just was kind of I imagined it more like Tumblr, where she was just posting under like a pseudonym.
Yeah. Still posting her normal stuff, just not under her given name.
Right. Or just, it was like I think he said it was like a cutesy username. So something that wouldn't have been super obvious. Probably didn't have like her like last name with it or something.
Doing the thing that teenagers do, thinking that what you post on the internet won't get found.
I know. And then it does get found. And all of these outlets run with it and like talk about how his mom was in the hospital. Post pictures of his house in Kansas City where his mom and sister and him live.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty awful. And I feel for poor Maddie.
It's really bad because he has never talked about it publicly because obviously he wants to respect his family's privacy. He's like, I don't really give a shit about my own privacy, but like, for them, I'm not going to talk about it. But he wants to get out ahead of it. So he decides to sit down with Dominic, with this blogger who I guess also has like a YouTube channel or something. I don't know, because this is a video interview.
I don't know. He's, again, I just imagine him as like Perez Hilton.
Yeah. Yeah. So they sit down in the interview and Nolan's very like matter of fact about what's going on with his mom. And
he gives just enough information to not like blow her privacy, but also be like, leave her alone. Like it's fine. It's not your business. Mm-hmm. He also gets to tell the truth of what happened at the Duluth Olympics,
which was not an orgy. Well, it was kind of an orgy, but not one that he was involved in.
Right. He says regretfully.
Yeah.
At one point.
Yeah. He's like, I wish they had invited me. So basically what it was is that this like American ice skater had like linked up with two foreign ice skaters. I can't remember what country
they
were
were
from.
Dutch speed skaters.
Skaters. That's what. But she was a figure skater, an American figure skater, and was like having a threesome with them when she got food poisoning from something she had eaten earlier in the evening.
I think she said it was tuna tartare.
Yes, tuna tartare in Michigan. Yeah,
which maybe not a good idea.
Yeah, bad ordering, girlfriend. So she gets really sick. And Nolan had given her his phone number earlier in the day when they met at the bar, hoping that she would use it for sexy purposes.
She calls him, and so he goes to pick her up in the like little Olympic village where they all stay. And he kind of collects her. She's like covered in vomit. Like, it's not cute.
Naked, but covered in vomit.
Yeah. And so
mostly naked, at least.
Right. And the speed skaters are still in the room naked. And this Dominic guy was apparently just like lurking outside the door and just like took a picture. And she looks, haggard and rough.
Right. And obviously it all looks very damning for everyone involved.
Right. It looks like they had some big drug-induced orgy when no, it was, well, who knows what happened. As he makes the point, I don't know what happened before. I just picked her up. And she's okay with this too. They had talked on the phone before. Yeah. And Emily, the figure skater, was like, yeah, you should, it's fine. Go ahead.
Yeah, she's like, I feel bad that you've kind of gotten the brunt of this, but so like, you know, tell the truth.
Yeah. So he does.
Dominic's a little disappointed.
Yeah, he didn't get his like tea or whatever. But, you know. And after that, everyone starts being a little nicer to Nolan too.
Right.
So.
Right, because then they're also like, okay, you're dealing with some shit that we didn't know about, so there we go.
Yeah. I have to bring up the other point of this book that gives me a big question mark.
Yeah.
And I feel it gives me I don't know. I feel ick about it. So Nolan was in this boy band with two other guys, one of which is named Calum, who is still like his best friend, like is checking up on his mom and sister. And while this is going on, while Nolan is trying to rehab his image and all that, Calum's sex tape leaks. And like everyone watches it.
Yeah. I think they're setting up a spin-off book.
You think so?
I think that's what that's about.
Interesting.
I think that's why this is in. I think that because you wrote in our notes it feels out of place in this book. I think it's a setup.
See, I understand that, but with things of consent, I don't like this at all.
Yeah.
This, I remember being like in high school when like Jennifer Lawrence's nudes leaked and things like that. And I'm like, this is not any different. Like,
yeah.
It is not cool that they're all kind of running around and like telling
Have
Nolan,
you seen it? Have you seen it? Yeah.
And like telling Nolan like how hot his bandmate is or whatnot. And
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, because it was leaked not of his own accord, obviously. No. So
as far as we know, I mean, Calum seems very upset about it. Who knows? Maybe in the possible spinoff, we find out he leaked it himself or whatnot. But as of right now, I don't like this at all.
Yeah, I didn't like that either. But I think after we got to that scene where we get to know him a little better, I was like, okay, now I guess it makes sense why it was included. But yeah, I felt ick about it.
Yeah, I felt like if that is the intention, which I didn't think about when I was reading the book, if the intention is setting it up for a spinoff with him, I don't know. There could have been another way.
Yeah.
Not such an invasion of privacy. Like I think it's even implied that like B watched it, which I don't like that at all. I don't know. Like if you flip the genders, it's gross. It's really gross.
Yeah. I don't like it either.
And in a book that is supposed to be, you know, like very sex positive and something like that, this is just like a really gross invasion of privacy that I really wish was not in here.
Yeah, and I really like how this book normalizes sex work. Like that's kind of the underlying message here. But he's not a sex worker.
Right.
Like by choice.
At this point, he's like I don't know if you can call
him a victim.
Yeah. Well, yes. I was going to say at this point, I don't know if you can call him a private citizen because he's still like a public figure.
Right.
But
he's still a celebrity. Yeah.
He's like living in Kansas City, just like running his pizza shop. Like he's not a boy band member anymore.
Right.
And like it wouldn't have been okay had he still been like a boy band member.
Right.
But he's like, I don't know.
But if he were still in the public eye, it would have been a little more not reasonable, but understandable at the attention.
Yeah.
I don't know. I still wouldn't like it, but
I don't know. It left a really bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Really big bummer.
I know. It didn't really like serve a purpose.
No, exactly. That was the point too. It doesn't serve a purpose. Like, yeah. I don't know. I guess I hope he gets a spinoff and it gets resolved somehow, but like we don't get any like retribution for him. There's no like real consequence. It's just kind of played off as a joke.
Right.
Of like where everyone's like, oh, he's got a hot dad bod. Like, did you see the sex tape? And like, I don't know. That's not funny.
Yeah.
It's gross.
It was gross. I didn't like it either.
Yeah.
Speaking of things that I didn't think you would like.
Yes.
Let's talk about, okay. I would like to say my piece about this first, and then I want to know how you felt about it. So we cut some of this out of the My Killer Vacation episode because it turned into some really long drunk conversation between us about religion that didn't belong in the podcast.
No, I think we stopped recording too.
I think we stopped recording. Yeah, we had like a 45-minute side conversation when we were recording My Killer Vacation.
We did.
But in this book, as in My Killer Vacation, there is a sex scene in a church. This one, for me, okay, I will say I was not as, like, upset by the, not to say you were upset, but for lack of a better word, I was not as upset or offended or whatever by the My Killer Vacation sex scene in the church as you were. Not to say I loved it, but you felt more strongly about it than I did. So that's my disclaimer here. So to that, I will say I liked this one more, but because I like their relationship more, it felt like they weren't just doing it just to do it. Like they're actually in love.
Yeah.
Which felt a little better. But it went on long enough that I was like, okay, we're still in the church and I'm just like feeling a little weird. And then I started laughing because in my notes I wrote, of course she would have an anxiety attack while getting eaten out. Because she does.
Her anxiety attack that was not even about like, I'm
in a church.
Yeah, I'm in a church. I'm in a wedding dress because they just shot a scene.
Right.
I'm in a wedding dress. Could I get married at some point? Like, it's like one of those spirals.
Yeah, which so
Fair.
it's just all a lot. But I'm interested to hear what you think of it because we like these characters more. We like their connection more. This scene overall feels far more romantic. Also because of the wedding dress piece of it. Like it kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
If you look at it kind of from a bird's eye view.
Yes.
So I'm interested how you feel about it.
Yes. My Killer Vacation, I don't remember how much we left on the podcast when we posted it, but yeah, I was not a fan at all. I thought it was like a little gross. Just because in My Killer Vacation, they just like snuck into an empty church and they're like, we can't wait.
Yeah, it was just like a little quickie.
Yeah, and like, you know,
because it was like raining outside or something. I think
it was raining, and you know, I was like, why couldn't they just do it in any other building? Like,
right?
Would we have put this? Like, I get it.
Would you have done it in like a bank vestibule?
Yeah. Or any other religious setting.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That was my big point was like, you know, I get that it's, you know, it's an easy punching bag to like have sex in a church because it's like.
Well, it's just like a little shocker scene. Yeah.
Yeah, but like, would you do it in a mosque? Would you do it in a temple?
Right.
I don't like any of that.
Right.
Like, I don't like it. It gives me the ick. And as somebody who is like still figuring out like where religion like plays into my life and whatnot, and who like grew up going to church and things like that, I don't like it, put simply. This one was a lot easier for me to disconnect from because they literally just shot a movie scene in this church.
Right.
And so much of this town does not feel real.
Right. And this didn't feel like a real church. And I felt that too. Yeah.
Yes. It almost just felt like a little staged church thing where I was like, okay, I have not been given any evidence that they actually hold church service in this building.
Right.
Whereas in My Killer Vacation, it was like a Catholic church where I was like, they absolutely.
Right.
And they walked out to like women coming into the church to
like nuns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To like pray or, you know, I'm not Catholic, so I don't know what they do on off hours. But yeah, like people going into the church to use it as a church.
Yeah.
And so this one was a lot easier for me to disconnect from of like, okay, I don't like love it. Like, but it did feel just more like a movie set again, because none of this town feels real. Like I haven't met any characters that belong and actually live in this town.
And then also when she has her, you know, when she's in the wedding dress, she has her kind of spiral of like, Nolan's seeing me in a wedding dress and I kind of like that. What does that mean that I kind of like that? And then she's like, holy shit, holy shit, holy shit.
Yes.
And so like the sex scene in the church kind of works as a vehicle into them both realizing they have like very, very serious feelings for each other. So like it serves more of a purpose.
Right. Yes.
Because it's like this venue for this like larger plot point, basically.
Yeah. The biggest thing for me is like, okay, this is like a movie building. Like there is no like religious sacrament or anything happening. Like no one's taking communion in here probably.
Right.
I could be wrong. And if so, maybe I'm not on board. But as far as in this book, the
knowledge that you have.
The knowledge that I have is this town is fucking made of poster board.
Right.
And there's nothing happening outside of this movie.
Right.
So as far as I know, there's no insulation or any real building material in this little church.
Well, I'm glad that you feel that way, because I was a little worried, because I was like, I hope this doesn't like ruin something about this book for Abigail. But I felt differently about it, so I was hoping you would feel differently about it too.
Yeah, I think it helps that in this purpose that we don't like meet any townies.
Right.
Like we don't meet anyone who actually like lives in this town.
Yeah, the town doesn't exist.
Yeah, it's
other than Prancer, the people who work at the strip club.
Yeah.
People who work at the inn, and the people who work at the one restaurant that we go to.
Yeah, like I don't know, they're not real.
Yeah.
Which is a con in some ways and a pro in this sense for, again, this church, you can just like push it over. It's cardboard. It's fine.
Yeah.
So, didn't love it. Maybe wish it was in a different building, but it does make sense. She had just shot a scene in her wedding dress in the church. Nolan finds her there. They bone. I'm not going to like sign off on it, but like,
it makes sense. Yeah.
It makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is kind of the emotional climax, I guess.
It's always a good pun. It's always a good pun.
I know. Can't say the word climax without it meaning multiple things.
But
so this was kind of the emotional climax of them realizing like, oh shit, like this is real. Like when this movie is over, we want to figure out how to be together. But I don't think they talk about it yet at this point, or do they?
They talk about it kind of briefly. So it turns out Nolan gets to go home for Christmas.
Yes. So they're saying goodbye.
They're saying goodbye like the next day. Like they kind of they bone in the church. I think they bone again later. The director finds out like why he was answering all these calls, and she's like, I'm so sorry. I had no idea. Hey, if we rush through the next couple days and get your scenes done, we can send you home for Christmas, and so you can be with your mom and your sister. And he's like, oh, great, amazing.
But he's bummed because it means he has to leave a day earlier and say goodbye to B.
Yes, which they kind of have a conversation of like, hey, once the movie is over, we'll figure this out.
Right. Nothing's set in stone, but they're like, we like each other.
Yeah, like we're gonna keep in touch.
Yeah,
and we're gonna figure it out and see how it goes. The like kind of implication is that she's gonna be his like secret girlfriend for a little while.
Yeah, which she isn't crazy about, but gets it.
Yeah, she's kind of like, I understand. And I think she also makes the point too of like, it's not great for her career either to be in a relationship. Not because she feels like Nolan's going to be controlling about her career. He makes it very clear he wants her to do what she wants to do, but
she's not sure if she wants to do porn where she's like having sex with other people.
Yeah.
While being with him. Like she's not sure about it, and she's like, maybe I'll be in like non-porn movies, like maybe I'll get more like acting roles. I don't know. Right. Essentially.
The gist of it is all like, hey, we like each other, we want to figure this out, but we just don't know how it's going to work yet. So like, honestly, like most things in life, let's figure it out after the holidays.
Yes, exactly. Every email that I'm sending this week.
Right. Circle back, please.
Let's see you in January.
Yeah.
So Nolan flies home. And while he is on the plane, essentially,
my God,
the news. So he's flying from Vermont to Kansas City, which I would say is what, like a 3 or 4 hour flight? 3 hours, I would guess.
Yeah.
Shit hits the fan. The news of B's identity has come out because fucking Prancer shared the photo.
Again, these people have no media training or are too trusting of a woman whose name they did not know.
Yeah, I guarantee you her given name was not Prancer.
Her government name.
Yeah. So she blabbed, essentially, and the gossip blogger found out and, like, blasted B's shit all over the internet. And, of course, B is the one getting hate. We only mentioned in passing that B is plus-sized, and so she's getting a very significant amount of hate, which any woman in this situation would, but a plus-sized woman especially.
Right.
Nolan is kind of getting this boys will be boys reaction, but people aren't thrilled with him either. They're like, here he fucking goes again, doing his shenanigans. So B finds out that this has happened, and she's like, fuck. And so Sunny, her best friend, hands her a bag of weed gummies. And our girl B has never
Partaken.
done a weed.
Done a weed.
And so Sunny is just like, here you go. Here's the edibles. Have fun.
I think she says, hold on, I'm going to go to the bathroom. Here you go, though.
Oh, yes. And then so B pops one and she's like, oh, that tastes pretty good. Pops the second one. And I was like, oh, no. And then there's a line in the book where she's like, she's not really sure what the serving size is. So she goes for a third and then a fourth. And I was like, B's going to the emergency room.
This is another part of the book where I had to like suspend my belief because I was like, B's a smart woman. Come on. She at least know how weed works.
Right. Like I feel like anyone who, especially living in a state where it's legal. She lives in LA.
Right.
Fucking everyone in LA smokes weed.
Yeah. I was like, there's no way she doesn't understand how these work.
There's no way and she lives with Sunny.
Yes.
And so presumably she has not seen Sunny, popping multiple gummies. Presumably she has seen Sunny take one and play Cult of the Lamb for 6 hours.
Also, B mentions, she's like, oh, these taste really good. They don't taste good.
No.
I'm not we don't live in a state where it's legal, but we are in a state where it's legal to have the Delta 9 gum or Delta 8 gummies.
Delta 8 and Delta 9, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So the alternative.
Which is basically weed with a different name.
Yeah. They don't taste good, though.
No, they taste like weed.
Yes.
They taste like if you put, like, ground up weed on your tongue.
Yeah. See, okay, this is the spray. This will have one column. Authors who have taken weed gummies who write about taking weed gummies. I would feel like I would guess for these ones, no.
Yeah.
Because B says, oh, these taste like the wine gummies my moms bring back from their vacation. No, they don't.
No, they don't.
They taste nasty.
B takes all of these weed gummies. And I was actually worried that something very bad was going to happen because I was like, I feel like somebody who does not do drugs, consumes that many weed gummies, is going to have some kind of paranoia, like, take me to the hospital moment. I feel like that's what I feel like I would be like, fucking take me to the emergency room. I'm having a heart attack. She just falls asleep.
And she sleeps till like 5 p.m. the next day.
I know. Which is like, honestly, probably the most realistic thing that would happen if you ate that many weed gummies.
Yes.
But this means that she is like oblivious to everything that is going on. Yes. So like Nolan lands in Kansas City, figures out what happened, tries to call her. He thinks that she is screening her calls because she's mad at him.
Right.
Really, she's just passed out.
She's just high out of her mind.
Yeah. And so like Nolan is dealing with the fallout, essentially. And he comes up with a plan. So they say, I love you over the phone. They finally connect with each other.
Nolan tells her he loves her.
Yeah. And he's basically like, don't worry, I'm going to take care of it.
Yes. Oh, so how this happens is Steph, his PR person, is basically like, deny.
Yes.
You didn't know anything.
Yes. Yeah. And he's like, ugh.
I don't love that.
Yeah.
But he goes along with it. And she puts out this press release that is basically like, I had no idea. Mm-hmm. I appreciate the mission and purity of the Hope Channel. How could I have known my co-star was a porn star? Yeah.
So then B is properly pissed at him.
Yeah.
But does answer the phone when she's come out of her coma.
Yes. And
also her moms arrive.
Yeah, her moms are there. They're just having a good time.
Right. Her moms show up to surprise her to spend Christmas with her, basically.
Yes. It's very cute.
Mm-hmm.
But they're just kind of there having a good time.
Yeah. Love the moms. Excellent characters. They show up in matching tracksuits. It's unbelievable.
They're almost townies.
Yes. Yeah.
Just not this town.
Scratches that itch, yeah.
A little bit. But he is trying to apologize to B, and she's just kind of like, I don't really want to be a secret. Like, I want you to love me in public, not just private.
Yeah, she's like, I hear what you're saying, but, like, prove it.
Yeah.
Basically.
And Nolan makes the plan to just, like, fucking drive across the country and go visit their other bandmate, Isaac, who is grieving the loss of his wife.
Yeah.
Which is so fucking sad. And it's just
he's basically
brushed
like
over,
dropped off the face of the earth for like years.
Yeah, it's been like a couple years since his wife died, who was also a pop star, and they just like dropped this out of nowhere that she died in his arms in their house, and he just is holed up in this house by himself.
Yeah. Yeah, it's alluded to a couple of times throughout the book that they haven't heard from him in years.
Yeah.
And it's because of his wife dying, but we never really get the story.
Yeah, we don't know why she died. It's just sad. But Nolan drives out there and visits Isaac and checks on him for one, and then also is like, I really fucked it up with B. She's great. And Isaac says something that basically is like, well, fix it. I don't know. Like, everything, when we were in our band, yeah, everything sucked, but it was a lot easier when I had Brooklyn, his wife. And I feel like that is the little point that wakes Nolan up of like, oh, I gotta really fix this. B's the best. I gotta fix this.
So he gets in contact with this blogger man. That's why he goes to LA. Yeah, Perez Hilton. And he's basically like, yep, I'm in love with this porn star and all of you are mean, essentially.
Yeah, basically. And he also gives, like, he tells Perez Hilton how much he sucks, too.
Yeah.
So he kind of gets to stick it to everybody. And then, again, tell B through the TV on New Year's Eve is when the interview airs. And she's in Texas with her moms. And Nolan shows up at her door while the interview is airing. And
it's all very nice.
They bone in her childhood bedroom under pictures of him.
Okay, I loved this. I found this so fucking funny because, okay, put yourself in the shoes of B and you're fucking your childhood crush. I feel like the celebrity would be like, oh my God, take those down. That's so embarrassing. Or like have some kind of weird ego about it or whatever. But Nolan is just like so normal about it. And he's like kind of making fun of her. He's like, oh, is this hot? Is this working for you? Like, and she's like, actually, it is.
Yeah. He like almost like reenacts a little fan fiction for her where he's like, are you like hosting me after my tour bus broke down?
Yes, yeah.
How can I ever repay you?
They do like a
for you?
Goofy little role play thing.
It's very funny.
Yeah.
It's very, very funny.
It was like the perfect little sweet ending scene for the book because it was like, I think that scene is like super representative of this book as a whole, which is like very funny, very sexy. Like the characters have this very sweet connection. Like it was just like mwah at the end of the book.
And I don't like a sex finale. I almost find them really lazy. And
it's like, oh, we got to slide one more in here.
Yeah, which I felt like that at first when I started reading this one. And then I was like, okay, you know what? I buy it a little bit. It's fine. Like, it's funny. It's
it bookends the like childhood crush piece of the story.
Yeah, and it like ends with them waking up in bed together under the pictures of him, which again is very, very funny. So this one I'm gonna give a pass on.
Yeah,
again, I find sex finales like
yeah,
okay, whatever.
But this one was good. Yeah,
this one was fine. Yeah, but then we get an epilogue.
We get an epilogue, in which we find out that Teddy is fucking Nolan's manager, agent, or whatever. Steph. And we basically find out that like they decided to air the movie. The Hope Channel viewers loved it. And then there's this great line from Teddy's inner monologue that I feel like should be the tagline for our entire podcast. And essentially, this is like vaguely paraphrased, but it says, people who like cheerful holiday shit and unabashed raunch were now both clearly visible and clearly ready to spend their money.
Yeah, I think right after that, it was like Hope Channel realized, like any media conglomerate, that it likes money.
Yeah.
And the B was a moneymaker.
Right. So they have this like Hope After Dark like segment now that Teddy is in charge of.
Which this is where I was like, okay, this isn't the Hallmark Channel. This is like ABC Family.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. ABC Family After Dark. So I loved that we bookended it with Teddy in the prologue and the epilogue.
Yes.
Got kind of his story.
Yeah. B got a lead role in some TV series that sounds very funny.
Yes. Yeah.
Nolan is going to be on a boy band reality show.
Yeah, he's going to be a judge on like an American Idol kind of
it's
X
the show
Factor.
it's the show that got him his boy band.
Yes, yeah.
Which I loved that he's very much like not grasping for the fame he had. He's just very much like, yeah, I'm a washed up pop star. I love this. This is great.
He's like, I just want to make some money for my family. I don't really care what I'm doing.
I'll go be a judge on this lame TV show.
Right. Like, I'm not too proud for this.
Yeah. I loved that about him.
Yeah.
But yeah, Teddy and Steph go off to fuck. So at the 4th of July party.
Yeah, to which I say, and I know this is listed under our next bullet point, which is overall impressions, but I would like to share my first impression, which is give us the Teddy spinoff.
Yes, that is the spinoff I wanted. Maybe that's why I didn't focus on the possibility of the other Inc. members, because during the whole thing I was like, I want more Teddy.
Yeah.
I want his book.
So similar to how Jasmine Guillory did one of her books in the proposal series from one of the moms' perspective, she went like, I'm going for an older woman. I want this older man. I want his love story.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm here for it.
Yeah.
I love Teddy. I love Steph, too. We
Me
didn't really get
too.
to talk about her. She's just the uptight agent, and I fucking love her.
Yeah.
She's amazing.
And she's like obsessed with eating the cherries at the bar.
Yeah, she's
which,
just like
same.
Yeah, she just like wants to find like a good Manhattan, but she just like I think at one point she's like drinking vermouth and bourbon and eating cherries, and she's like, "Shut up, Nolan! It's deconstructed Manhattan."
Yeah,
or something like that. Because she's like a fucking asshole, but she's so funny.
Yeah, I love her. I love her. But yes, that is the first of my overall impressions.
Yeah.
What's your overall impression?
This was a fun holiday romp.
Yes.
Truly a romp.
A romp, truly. One of the first things that I told you when I finished this book was this is like what we wanted My Killer Vacation to be.
Yes.
Like the Christmas version. If My Killer Vacation was like the summer one, this is the winter one.
I agree.
Because it's super spicy.
It's very spicy.
But the romance is there. The writing is there.
Yeah, I like both leads. I did not care that much for Miles in My Killer Vacation.
Yeah.
I found him kind of boring. And just, I don't know.
Good side characters here.
Yeah.
Good setting.
Yeah. I don't know. This one was just fun.
Yeah.
I think I liked Matthew Prince a little better than this one. But I think I liked the leads in all of them.
Yes.
Like, I think there were no characters I, like, hated.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even the characters I meant to dislike, like Dominic, like, I still had fun reading about him.
Exactly. Yeah. I like them. I think they were equal for me. I certainly read this one faster, but I think that is, I just had more time because, like, school's out and I'm on break and whatever.
Right.
So, yeah, I do. I always, when we're about to record, I go look at Goodreads reviews because I'm like, okay, I know I liked this and I think Abigail liked it, but how did other people feel?
Yes.
And I have to hate on one Goodreads review for a second, which I'm not in the business of hating on reviews because let people like what they like and hate what they hate. You know, I'm not here to yuck anyone's yum, but I am specifically going to yuck the yuck of this Goodreads reviewer, mainly because it's stupid. I'm sorry.
Let's hear it.
Part of the review was that they wrote, I'm all for a holiday-themed town, but there's a North Pole strip club with a stripper named Prancer. I just cannot believe this story is meant to be taken seriously. It is not meant to be taken seriously. That's the point.
No, this is not highbrow literature.
Yeah.
This is not a Christmas Carol.
This, for me, was like, just say you're a prude, and that's okay. You can be a prude. You don't have to read this book.
No, of course there's nowhere called the North Pole with a stripper named Prancer.
Yeah, it was just okay, if you don't like that part, there were many complaints, as I said at the top of the episode, there were many complaints on Goodreads about I picked this up because it had a cutesy cover and I didn't know it was going to be this spicy. First of all, that's on you. Second of all, maybe you were gifted it or something, or maybe you really just did grab it and go and you didn't know. Okay. You're allowed to be like, oh my God, I picked this up and it wasn't what I expected. You're allowed to say, I don't love that there was a strip club named the North Pole. Fine. You cannot say, I cannot believe this story is meant to be taken seriously, because if you think this story is meant to be taken seriously, what are you even doing reading romance novels?
No. Just, no.
There's nothing serious about any of this.
No, which is the point.
Yeah, you can't look too hard at it.
No.
It all falls apart.
go like poke out a Cormac McCarthy novel if that's what you want or something. Like, don't pick up this bright pink romance and be like, why isn't this serious? Like, no, it's about a boy band member and a porn star.
I know. So I will not make it a theme to hate on people who leave bad reviews of books that I like, because again, I'm not yucking anyone's yums, but this person deserved to be yucked.
I'll make another point about Goodreads reviews where I was on Goodreads before I had finished the book, so I didn't poke that hard into them because I didn't want to get anything spoiled. But somebody had said that they make too big of a deal about B being plus size, which I did not feel at all.
No, I kind of loved that they didn't, and I have this in my notes. I love that they didn't make a big deal about it.
Right.
Because that's just how she looks.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the only time they make a big deal about it is when she gets all the hate online.
Right.
Which is when it's like really relevant.
Right. That is how it would be.
But I feel like so many of the other romance novels we read that have plus size leads, it's like this woman is trying to find love in spite of her size, or she's like trying to be confident, or she's trying to find clothes that fit her, or like whatever it is. And it's like a major point of the book, which also has value in its own way.
Right.
But that was not what this book was about. It was like, it felt very like it was just a part of the story, like saying she has brown hair or whatever.
Right.
Which, like, I loved that because I like, you know, it's nice that it's not just this story of like a plus-sized woman's struggle to find love.
Yeah. Which I very much appreciated. It only came up, I felt like, when it was relevant, or when it was B kind of pointing out, you know, like, oh, it's hard for her to find like undergarments that fit.
Right.
Or like costumes or something like that. Or like you said, when shit hits the fan.
Right.
And yeah, unfortunately, that is what, if this had happened in real life, that is what B would get a lot of hate about.
Right.
So, yeah.
Another similar to that point is it is mentioned several times, but briefly, that both of our lead characters are bisexual.
Yes, they call themselves bisexual disasters.
I know, which is very funny. And I really like books that slide in things like that don't make it a focus on some kind of like struggle or conflict because of this person's sexuality or whatever. It's just a part of their identity.
Right.
Because it wasn't important to the story. So, and it'd be different if it was important to the story, right? Like, it, you know, if it were important to the story, then like, yeah, spend more time with it.
Right.
But it wasn't important. It was just one of the aspects of their personality that they actually bonded over.
Yeah. Nolan even makes a good point at one point where he's talking about his, you know, former bad boy persona and how he got to be openly bisexual because it, you know, fit this persona where he was like, yeah, everyone just kind of typecast me as the bisexual slut.
Yeah, like
really
he'll have sex with anyone. Yeah.
And they make the point that that's really shitty and that's a stereotype. Like,
and then B brings up like, oh, a lot of people don't think I'm even bi because they think I just do it for my movies or like, you know, for guys to watch online or whatever.
Yeah. So
I really loved that they brought up those kind of like parts of their personality that in other books would be a bigger deal.
Yeah, and I think that's also why it upset me so much with like Calum's sex tape, where it was like, it felt like all these other things were handled like well and like, I don't want to say delicately because it's not exactly the right word that I want, but, you know, handled in a way that was...
Maturely.
Yeah, maturely. Yeah, like sensitive to the topic, like relevant, no shame about it or anything, like that's just how it is. And then we've got a leaked sex tape as a punchline.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I can't let that go.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't like it. Hopefully if there's a spinoff,
we'll get some...
become relevant.
Yeah, we'll get a resolution of sorts that is a little more satisfying.
Yeah. Well, perhaps most importantly of all, what are you reading now? Because I cannot wait for you to read this book.
I know. So I haven't started it yet, so it's a little bit of a cheat because I just finished Merry Little Meet Cute literally this morning. But for my probably final Christmas read of the year.
I'm so excited.
I know.
I'm fist pumping. Y'all can't see me, but I'm fist pumping.
I know. Katie's so pumped. It'll be Kiss Her Once for Me by Alison Cochran.
I fucking loved this book. I read it in like a day and I already want to reread it. I highlighted like half of it in my Kindle. It is one of the most beautifully written romance novels that I've read in a long time. And I'm gonna put it in my top 5 of the year.
5 books or 5 romances?
Definitely 5 romances, perhaps 5 books, but it might be on the cusp.
So definitely top 10 books.
Definitely top 10 books, yeah.
Ooh, I'm very pumped.
Loved it. I loved everything about it.
I think it'll be a good palate cleanser too after 2 like silly Christmas ones, and I'm already kind of settling into my Christmas melancholy.
Oh, this is melancholy as shit.
I'm very excited.
I'm so excited for you to read that book.
I will start tonight, if not tomorrow.
Nice.
I'm going to start in the next 24 hours for sure.
Yeah, I need live reactions the whole time.
Oh, God. Okay. What are you reading?
Okay, so I have this book. Where is it? I got this one from Book Outlet on a whim. I had never heard of it before. But I wanted some... I feel like last year I read pretty much every single Christmas romance that was remotely interesting to me. Like I sped read a bunch of them. So then I felt like my well was a little dry this year. So when I was on Book Outlet, they had a bunch of Christmas.
But yeah, I got engaged.
Oh yes, we'll end the year with Abigail's engagement discussion.
Yeah.
What do you want to tell the people?
That I got engaged. I don't know.
Abigail is 100% less stressed than she was a week and a half ago.
I was a monster.
Yeah, it was. You were a cute monster, but you were a monster.
Yeah, I was a monster. It was fine.
Abigail was a ball of anxiety for about a month.
Yes, because Austin, my now fiance, told me he was going to propose.
This is an entirely different podcast episode where we air our grievances.
Oh, we can do a whole podcast
bonus episode about Abigail's engagement.
Yeah, but
there will be continued discussion over the coming years.
But
about this.
The long of or the short of it all is he had told me weeks ago that it was supposed to happen on Thanksgiving weekend, and then it couldn't. For some reason. This is kind of a long story of how he told me, but he did, like an idiot. So I got to spend 6 weeks being anxious.
Yeah.
But my sister was in town, and he proposed on the roof of a gallery downtown, and it was beautiful and lovely. And then Katey, the hero that she is, brought all of our friends to
our favorite
bar and surprised me, and it was amazing. So...
it was delightful.
It's now been over a week, and I've been a fiance.
Yep. We'll make sure some kind of creative book photo with the ring gets posted on our Instagram so you all can drool over it the way that we all have.
He did a very good job.
It's very beautiful.
I feel like I have to give the disclaimer that it's a family diamond. We are not just like rolling in it.
Secretly wealthy.
No, we are not secretly wealthy at all. He was lucky enough that he had an heirloom diamond that he was able to use, and he and the jeweler did a very, very, very good job. So, but yeah, I got engaged, which is very exciting.
Yeah, so lots of wedding talk to come, and perhaps we'll even read some wedding-themed books in Abigail's honor. I'm
going to make Katey read a wedding book because I love a wedding book anyway, and now I have even more reason to make her read a wedding book.
Yeah.
So, although
as long as you promise me that you won't let it turn into you stressing about all the things that could go wrong, because there's always shit that goes wrong in a wedding romance.
I've read enough that I feel like it'll be fine.
Okay.
I don't think that
I'm here to create less stress for you.
Oh, I know. Katey has been an absolute hero through this whole thing, along with my sister Hannah, who they are now BFFs without me.
Yeah, I had never met Hannah before, and now Hannah and I are best friends.
Yeah, without me.
Yeah.
People have been asking me, which maybe you got this too, but like literally the day after, when's the wedding?
I know.
It's like, I don't fucking know. You tell me.
I know. We got that a lot.
Like, what did you think we were already planning the wedding?
I mean, some people do, but definitely not enough people for that question to be normal.
And I should give people grace and say, like, I understand it's them, like, being excited and wanting to hear more. But it is like, no, it literally happened 48 hours ago. I've never been to a venue.
There are also, like, more elegant ways to ask that question. Like, are y'all going to start planning soon? Or do you want to get married soon? Ooh. Or, there are more delicate ways to ask that.
But with that,
yeah, this is our last episode of the year. We're going to take a little break just to let our brains reset and let us read some things that aren't necessarily for the pod.
Yeah, we will. We're going to take January off. But we will still be updating our Instagram with what we're reading and recommendations and whatnot. But yeah, we're going to take a little break.
Yeah, we're planning on being back for an episode around Valentine's Day. I don't know what day of the week Valentine's Day falls on, but whatever Wednesday is closest to Valentine's Day.
Oh, yeah. We will announce well in advance when we'll be back on our Instagram and all that. But yeah, now that we started this podcast in June, it's been really fun.
It has been, but it's time to take a little break, make sure we know what we're doing and we're not stressing about reading books over Christmas or whatever. No thoughts, just vibes.
No thoughts, just vibes. Again, my brain is not working past New Year's Eve right
I'm
now.
honestly surprised we recorded 2 hours of this because earlier I was like, nothing is going to come out of my head. It's all just bouncing around in there.
Just little tangled tumbleweeds of Christmas lights.
Yep.
I don't know.
Exactly.
But, in the meantime, you can follow us in all our happenings at 50% Pod everywhere. Twitter, as long as it lasts. I don't know. We're far more active on Instagram. Follow our Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram's better. I'm not even using Twitter personally anymore. And that's another story. Maybe Twitter will exist in 2023 when we see y'all again.
Maybe.
Maybe not.
Shop our bookshop for some New Year's presents to yourselves.
Yes.
Be a great engagement present to me if you shop our bookshop.
It would be.
Don't even send me the books. Just shop from our bookshop.
Yes.
Kick us a few cents.
Yes.
We'd be thrilled.
Wedding fund.
Yeah, this will really contribute to my our bookshop money.
Pennies, yeah.
Our pennies. But yeah, this has been so much fun this year. I'm very grateful that Katey agreed to do this with me. And after 2 years of joking about it, we actually got to do it.
It's been delightful. We hope you all have a wonderful holiday season and a wonderful New Year's, whether you are with your families or not. We hope that you're happy with whatever those options are and that you've got something nice and cozy to read.
Yes, as always,